Welcome to Come to the Well, a sacred space where Christian women lay down what's emptying them and rediscovering the living waters that restores their strength, identity, and God-given purpose. I'm your host, Colleen, the founder of Sustain a Well, and I'd like you to sit back, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and enjoy today's episode. So, ladies, how are things going? We are full on into the season. And as you come to the well with me, I want to take you right up to the well where you're looking in and saying, what have I done all year to make a difference in my life? Sometimes we come to the beginning of a new year and we're wondering, what things have I done? What things have I changed? We might look at the negative things. But today, when we come to the well, I want you to think of all the positive things. I don't want us to delete everything. So welcome. I'm your host, Colleen, of Come to the Well podcast, where I bring Christian women to a place where they become vulnerable, they connect with other women, and they hear stories and reflections about real life situations where we all come together at the well as like-minded women. So today our conversation is going to be basically about things that you've done over the past year. What have you done that you're proud of? What have you done that you really, really need not to forget about? And one of the things that I want to share with you and that I'm really proud of is staying consistent on always helping women, staying consistent on my behaviors of eating right, moving more, and really focusing on my health. I know you're probably thinking that, well, Colin, it's easy for you because you have been working on your health for quite some time, over 40 years. But, the reality is when you have that diet mindset, you're always trying to better yourself. And when you eat that cookie or you deviate, you kind of feel the guilt and shame. This is where I don't want you as women to feel that. I want you to open your hearts and really look at all of the things that you've done really, really well. So a lot of the things that I've done really well is I don't compare myself to others. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy, especially in this day and age where we're on social media and we're on Instagram and we see all sorts of things that people are doing, that people are saying, and we kind of take for granted. And we might think that, boy, that person's doing so much and I just can't seem to get my life all together. But the reality is that we all are doing a lot, and that's okay. But what we have to do is really know that we are created uniquely and that it's time for us to really look at what our main gifts are. And I don't know if you ever heard of this, about reflecting on what are the gifts that I'm most strong at. Am I a good listener? Am I a good friend to all of those that I'm around? Am I a good wife? Do I listen to my husband? What are the things that I do well? Do I lead different groups in ways that are positive? It's really important to, lead groups with communication and with poise and excellence and not judgment. And a lot of times, many groups I've been in, the leader wants to control outcomes. And I've learned that it's easier to let other people voices be heard and then to really guide and direct those people, because that is one of my spiritual strengths, is to bring women together. And that's why I want you ladies to come to the well and really listen to my heart and really hear that this is a place where we share stories, become vulnerable on topics that we're not really proud of. There's times where we're frustrated over work, we're frustrated over who we've become, we compare too much. We want to definitely make impact in the lives of others. And a lot of times we make poor choices in that impact. Some of us may want to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom, but yet financially we are unable to, and that makes us sad or depressed. We really have to look at that also too. Some women just don't have the bandwidth to be a stay-at-home mom. That some women need to get out into the workforce and work and make a difference in other people's lives to be better for their children. Whatever that is, that's perfectly, okay, but we just have to be aware of that. So let's think on this. Let's think on, how many times we've joined different groups and we show up in different ways. I know for me, when I was younger, I often joined at different Bible study groups because I wanted to form friendships and form unique opportunities for my kids and myself develop friendships. But a lot of times those friendships are superficial because you're brought to a place where that might not necessarily be a place of comfort for you. Everybody comes to a mom's group, a Bible study, a TSO for various reasons. Sometimes we run into people that want to suck the life out of you. And if you're a doer and you're organized, it seems like they rope you in, but yet they want it done their way. So they're critiquing you. So in a situation where you want to build quality friendships and relationships, that may or may not be the place to find those good, unique groups. And ladies, when we're so busy, and we're busy nurturing the children and taking care of the children, sometimes it's a season where you just need to put other things on pause. But it still is important to reach out and stay in touch with some good girlfriends because you don't want to lose those bonds or those relationships. But I'm here to tell you that many times those relationships do circle back around. And if you planted good seeds in those relationships, they will come back as you get older. But it's real important to make sure it's rooted and grounded in a solid, foundation, which is so important. Another thing that I'm proud of this year that I'm hoping you're proud of is that you've spent more time sitting and pondering, sitting and asking yourselves good quality of questions. Have I had a good relationship with my children? Have I been more patient? Have I read and reflected on different Bible passages? Have I been less angry? Have I opened my eyes to what's sitting right in front of me, which is so important? There's certain things that are right there when you sit in the silence that we all alive. How many times have you been at a grocery store, a children's store, a hobby shop, and it's real chaotic, but yet you breeze past the woman that's smiling at you, the older lady that just looks and says, oh, your daughter's so cute, or someone just helping you with those packages, or someone that's paying it forward and pays for your coffee. We're too busy to look at the outward things that we don't simply take time to reflect on what's going on day to day. And those are blessings that we may or may not be aware of. And we do have to start being, more aware of those simple little blessings and those opportunities that come up. So I'd like you listeners to take a moment and really write down 2 things that you're really, really proud of, that you've accomplished, or you become more aware of in this conversation for the past year. And I want you to really feel it and say, gosh, I had no idea that I, A, took more time for myself, maybe, or I spent more quality time with my kids. I actually sat down and read a book. Many times in the years of having kids, you don't even have time to read a good novel or a good book. Maybe you had more quality time with your husband. Write those things down. Those are like so important. Maybe you took time to get outside more, whether it's taking the kids to the park or just going for a walk yourself and getting that fresh air that you actually needed. Maybe it's as simple as you were drinking more water, you're adding more fruits and vegetables to your diet, you're taking more reflective time, you're actually getting more quality of sleep. Just talking to a lady at an event I was at, and she was saying the one thing that she did this past year was she got more sleep. She got away from a bedroom situation that wasn't serving her well, and she's actually getting better sleep. It's giving her more energy. She's able to do things, walk up and down the steps more. She's able to accomplish more just by getting good quality of sleep. So it's not those big, older moments that really we need to reflect on. It's the little simple things that we have noticed on our day to day that's really improved our life, basically. So let's take a minute and just write one or two things down, which is so, so important to what you're doing today. All right. I hope you had an opportunity to write those things down. Now, let's come and talk about what are we going to do over the next couple of weeks before we go into 2026. Now, many people resolve to have these big, big plans.
Ladies, as we move into the next couple of weeks, I want us to first take a moment and reflect on all the positive things that we have done over the last year. Then I want us to analyze that and then come to a realization of what is the things that I want to build upon. Really look at what are the things that I've done really, really well that I can continue, and what maybe is the one or two things that we can maybe make some adjustments on, maybe take a big leap, because many of our friends and our lady friends and many people, once they hit 2026, they are going to start a New Year's resolution and resolve to go big. And usually by March, these things kind of fall by the wayside. So what I want us to think about is something on a smaller scale. So I want us to look at one thing that we're going to improve upon just in that 1 month period of time. So just for the month of January. And that might be that one simple thing like cooking healthier. And how are we going to apply that in the month of January? Well, it could be as simple as making your grocery list, double checking what you have in the pantry, adding more fruits and vegetables to those meals, and actually doing a meal plan for yourself. Those could be the things that you can start doing. Once we build upon that meal plan, then we can figure out the resources. Are we going to use a crock pot? Are we going to do some air frying? How are we going to cook that meal? And really, ladies, it's just going to be one healthy meal for the week. That's all you're going to focus on. That's the simple steps that you're going to take to really move into 2026. And if you do those things, you reflect on what you did well in the last year, then you're already setting yourself up for success. So it's just those simple things, ladies. So give it a try. I would love for you to connect with me in my private Facebook group, Come to the Well. Love for you to share on that page what you're doing differently, how this has helped you. So I hope this was very productive for you.
Thank you for coming to the well with me today. Wherever you are in your journey, you are seen, you are loved, and you are not alone. Until we meet again, until you come back with me to the well, may you be loved, seen, and heard this week. Thanks for joining us.